Hello, everyone, and I hope that you're having a beautiful day. My name is Robin. Thanks so much for tuning in. So, I am here to do some messages for you guys um, through the Akashic Records. So, for people that don't know, I learned my Akashic Records program in the fall of 2020, and I finished up, I want to say, around February, and then I started teaching immediately. I've gone through teaching one program, and now I'm on to my second, so that's going to be starting up July 5th, and it's going to go through till August 16th. So it's me, your leader and your coach, and I'm going to be and teacher. I'm going to be teaching a little bit of a different style, and this style is more about letting go of worry, letting go of like habits, patterns. Hello to whoever's watching. If you'd like messages from the Akash, let's find out what they have to say, and I'm also going to discuss a bit of my program that I have coming up on the 5th, because that's creeping up and we have a lovely group so far. So we're absolute afternoon. Hello. We're absolutely going to be working on patterns of behaviors, habits, which I think is fabulous because we all have habits, we all have patterns. So the way the Akashic Records works is we go into this space where we really get into this deep, deep, deep peaceful place. And essentially, what we do is we shift our energy. And that means we're kind of like going more into the earth. So we learn a lot more about grounding, as I was just saying, letting go of worrying, more going into a meditative state. We learn more about sound healing, how sound and vibration through using our voice can really be beneficial. The other thing is we work a bit more on the law of attraction in terms of, okay, that's great that we're getting this knowledge, but now what are we going to do with it? So we can really start tapping into future readings and future energy and start learning how to amplify that and attract what it is that we want. So again, if you have a question specifically, let's ask the Akashic Records how we can help you and the group as well. And again, anything you want to know about the Akashic Records that you think will be helpful for anyone interested in learning. This is something that I do feel like the timing is really important, that you're feeling like you're connecting to it when you're being called to it, because that's what happened to me. I heard the word Akashic Records, didn't know what it was, and but it kept coming up along my frequency. The words were jumping out, and I started to notice it, and I'm like, I'm hearing this buzzword, kind of buzzword. It's not really popular here in the Moncton Riverview area, but it's starting to become more popular, even in the videos that I'm listening to from people that I've never heard them discussing that. So I think that this energy is being spread out, and very similar to, I've been teaching Reiki for the last 7 years. Finally, just finished. So my last class, when I say just finished, my last class will be in July for my level 4, and then I'll have level 1 to 4 available as a digital program for you, so you guys can still learn just without the one-on-one. And I'm always available for one-on-one coaching as well, but this isn't something I'm going to be teaching like live, unless I do feel called to it in more of a bigger program. But right now I'm moving on to the Akashic Records because this is so broad. It's so broad. So when people might have this idea of what it is, it's really, really big. So if there aren't any questions, I just find that so interesting that people aren't focusing on wanting to know anything. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come into a very grounded space. I am doing a meditation class on the 7th for $35. So if you're interested in learning about meditation, there are a lot of people right now who I feel like are very intuitive that watch these, and maybe they're nervous or scared, or they don't want to pay, or they're confused about, I don't know, maybe working with me or something. But I do think it's important to really work on that, deepening your connection with yourself. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working on the 7th. Reach out to me if you're interested in that as well. And if you haven't been watching some of my stuff, I'm also doing an online retreat on the 15th, which is also only $33, and you get a gift in the mail. So that's amazing. So as we go into this state, okay, so going into this state, and feel free to share hearts, guys. Let me know that you like this stuff, because when I come on here, it's really important for me that I know that I'm on the right track. Otherwise, I could be, discussing other things, or being on other platforms. So I'd really like to know. So first thing we do is we get into a grounded state. So for people that don't know what a grounded state is, typically on my YouTube channel, I do lots of talks about this stuff, which is nice because you start to have, I'm starting to build up more resources for you guys, but we create a line in our spine. So essentially what we do is we create a line from our root to our crown. And for people that don't know anything about the chakras are seven kind of like vortexes, centers that we have that actually function down. So if a chakra is out of whack or blocked, essentially there isn't any energy moving in it, and what's happening is you might find you feel like really bloated, you might feel hyper, you might feel depressed, you might feel sad, you might feel like, again, monkey mind. That's why I'm teaching meditation soon, because it feels really important. So in the Akashic Records certification, that's where Reiki comes in, meditation comes in, grounding comes in. So we want to, and also visualizing, as we're talking about manifesting. So we're going to visualize all of our chakras, all 7. If you don't know what they are, just see them as a line and start seeing your spine aligned. So often in the records, we use selenite as well, which is really beneficial to removing negative energy instantly, okay? So we can come into this space all together if you like. And we're going to notice also our physical body, where we're feeling heavy. So shoulders, maybe just noticing if they're relaxed. Your feet on the earth. Your crown being up. Sometimes when we get sad, we put our head down. If you have too much thoughts going on in the head, it might feel tense. The jaw, we might feel some clenching there. The ears might be buzzing or ringing sometimes when we're receiving intuitive messages. Maybe we've been hurt in the ears and we want to, hi Linda, we want to remove that energy. So often when we add energy work into the records, it's fabulous. Again, I teach you simple tools. If you purchase my online digital programs of the Reiki 1, 2, or 3, you'll get the attunement, so you can start doing that. Otherwise, you can send energy to yourself by putting your hand up over your heart. And in this program, we're going to learn tapping, which is basically energy work. But it's like you're in control of your own energy. And as I was saying, we're working on patterns of behaviors and habits and things like that. So some people don't want to look at their truth. They don't want to see their truth. So they'll block it. They'll be like, oh, you're this way or you're that way, instead of going in the opposite direction of this is me and my problem. And without judging yourself, it's acknowledging, okay, well, where could I change? What can I do? And I feel like that's kind of our theme today here, is acknowledging what is it within myself that I need to work on. That, and I'm starting to notice themes over days as I'm doing my daily readings. I'm like, okay, like people are really in a time of change. They really are. We're shifting, slowly going to be going into that new moon, and I can feel it. And it's like, stop throwing your shit at other people. Pardon my language. Stop throwing your crap onto other people. Ask yourself right now, where am I throwing my negativity at somebody else? Or where am I judging other people? So yeah, this is kind of a bit more of the meditation piece, but a lot of times people think meditation is actually turning the mind off. It's the complete opposite. It's activating the third eye. And that's where I'm a very creative soul. So for me, I've never seen meditation as like a time to shut off. I see it as a time to literally activate. And it's amazing. And it's beautiful. And it gives me inspiration. So when I hear people not wanting inspiration or not wanting to connect, it makes me sad sometimes that somebody would think that it's too hard to be um, to activate themselves, right? And that's what we're all kind of here to learn as a group, which is really wonderful. So it just feels like I'm just keep putting my hands on my heart. So I invite you to do the same thing, taking a couple deep cleansing breaths. We're going to go into the records here as a group. So feel free to do the same thing. So with this sacred I relax my body, taking a deep breath in. And then just enjoying that feeling. And with this sacred I relax my mind, taking a deep breath in. And with this sacred I let go of my ego and all judgment in this space. Breathing in. And with this sacred I access all knowledge and wisdom in this space. Breathing in. And with this sacred I go into the Akashic Records for Robin Jardine. So breathing in, or for your name. Keeping in mind that being in a space that you can do this is important. Having water with you is also fabulous, and a notebook with a pen and a piece of paper. So I get a feeling of, like, for me, buzzing, because I've been in this space a million times already. When I first started, it was weird for me, but now I'm like, I feel like my whole body is buzzing in a good way. I feel very, like, energized. So what's happening, the messages that I get is that we're going through very dark times. We are going through very, very dark times, and it's very isolating for a lot of people. And so if you're feeling like you're in a dark place, sound healing, as I keep bringing up, is really, really significant. So I've been bringing out my tinctures. So again, in the program, I'm going to teach tools, which I'm starting to kind of teach you guys as I'm working on sharing more before we start. The other thing, guys, is I'm selling my digital program of my Akashic Records from the last program for only $2.99. So if you are interested in learning but you don't want to participate in this group, maybe you're not ready, the time's not right, you can totally learn through the digital program, okay? And then what you have to do in order for me to give you your certificate is then you just have to do what everybody else has to do, which is a 30-minute reading on me, and go out and do some practice until you feel comfortable to do the reading with me, okay? But I'm still gonna charge you for the time together for the 30 minutes, okay? But other than that, that might be an alternative for you. That's just coming up for someone in particular that might be watching, that's like, they don't want to pay the $12.50 for the program, but they want to learn about the Akashic Records. If I had this opportunity, I paid under $5,000, but for my program. And so, I mean, I can't help but want to share and give this beautiful energy to others, okay? So again, inbox me if you're interested. It's slowly getting up onto my website for purchase. The other thing that comes up is, as I've been discussing, the heart chakra. So in our program, we learn about the understanding the chakras on a deeper level. Break energy down, how to do tools and techniques so people feel positive in their physical bodies, which is great, which of course affects our mental health. Again, if you guys don't have questions, that's fine. I'm also teaching crystals, crystal grids, things like that, understanding how to read energy with the crystals. But right away, I get this overwhelmed sensation, and I was saying that we're going to be learning more about worry energy, but I get that there are some people who they just can't get rid of their own crap. Like, they're just like constantly like, I've got my own problems, blah, 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 and it just feels like people are scared of other people right now. That's what I'm getting. Like, specifically, maybe someone here, you can share, and if you want, we can like do a technique with you, but it just feels like stop being scared of other people, right? It feels more like a confidence thing because when you're blocked in your throat, that's a really, really big struggle. So that's why I would recommend start with my Reiki 1 even. Um, and go from there. My Reiki 1 is like 6 hours of learning online. So um, I go into the crystals and the energy of this, and we were talking about grounding. Um, I'm just getting it's important to understand the energy of divine timing, maybe your purpose and why you came here onto Earth. In the program, we learn about future readings in this life and in future lives. So again, even if you don't believe in this, you get tons of knowledge and information, as this is kind of like really raw and shedding hair already. But what comes up is that it's like if you even connect to the energy of this crystal and how fortunate we are to be able to access things from, um, this could have been from, I don't know, year like year 10, something like that. And it's like, and it's 2021, so you imagine how many years. It's not from that year, but if you think about how long these things have been around on Earth and how fortunate we are to even have like a piece or a cut of the crystal and get the benefits of it. So clear quartz is really all about manifesting, and I actually wanted to come on here because I wanted to help people learn how to manifest, because it's amazing how we can stop the hamster wheel, and we can shift, and all of a sudden in 2 seconds can have a completely different scenario. So are you taking action and initiative on the things that you need to change? And I'm for some reason, like, I feel like sharing that I do have a psychology background, and for me, I want it to be a counselor. Maybe that I'm talking about this for someone, or just because of purpose. And I always knew that I wanted to help people. That was a given for me. And I looked into the master's program at Acadia in Nova Scotia for that, and I was put on a waiting list for the program to get in. And in the meantime, I there was like this push and pull. I wanted to be creative, but I wanted to help people, and so I went into a photography program, which was perfect because I kind of ended up falling in love. Took me to New Brunswick. Um, got a $5,000 scholarship to an art school, which is really cool. And so everything just felt really in the up. And I think that's how we kind of know when we're in the right place, because with the counseling, it was kind of like, just felt too restricted for me, because unfortunately, it feels like sometimes when we get into working in systems, like certain government systems, we might be a little more restricted, whereas if we are an entrepreneur, we have more flexibility and opportunities. I also, underneath my digital programs, have an income program for anyone that does want to start their entrepreneurial spark. I do a lot of theta healing and help people how to kind of like start on that path for yourself. That one is $250, and again, that's like I believe 8 or 9 weeks, so classes with additional things in between to help you. But what kind of happened for me is I was like, okay, I need to help people, went on the creative path. And then what's interesting is I had a lot of lessons that came up for me on that creative path because I didn't like the structure of the program. There was like a lot of negative energy around the structure and some of the people as a result of the structure. It was a $18,000 program, and it just wasn't jiving with me. It just didn't feel ethical. There was something really off about the energy of that school. So I pulled myself out of the program because ethically it didn't feel right for me. So I then ended up going full time into my helping business, which was my healing business, with a touch of creativity, healing arts. And so I was able to take the business and take the arts and find my own path, as I'm now tapping into more working with colors and art, and for me, creating products and like the energy of creating. And so that's kind of funny how I think as we go along our life path, we make changes. And feel free to share if this affects you or makes any sense to you. But if you have a question or you want a message, let me know. that it's just coming up. I'm getting this kind of like breath of air here that where energy's starting to move. So I'm getting like you might be putting some things off that you're meant to be doing, that you know you want to do. And for me, I had to cut a cord in something that I was investing in, and it really sucked. So relationships, we do the same thing. Sometimes we've been with somebody for a really long time, and we have to end that relationship. You know, maybe we, our parents or something like had a dream for us, and we think we need to follow our dreams that our parents have for us, and social norms and things like that. So when we go into the records, it's really cool. And I've been learning as I keep practicing in this space, and even being in this space, it's amazing. I'm like, okay, we really can do whatever we want. We can really be whoever we want if we just listen and let go at the same time. And that can be really challenging for people. So again, nobody's saying that okay, I am getting a message here. I always want messages. Sitting over here hearing some humming. Must have been the humming and sounds and crystal, perhaps. But that's a big part of being in the space. This is another one, and I sell these crystals too, guys, because I feel like they need homes sometimes. Like I have a million, not a million. They're getting a lot. I have a lot less now than I did, but I think that these are really important. I think we use things for a certain length of time, and then we're ready to move on from it. And as I was saying, like for me, mastering the Reiki portion of things and moving into the records, and then I'm at the same time I've moving into yoga and into my retreat. So I think we're always kind of doing that. But I'm getting that we're suffering over nothing. We really are suffering over nothing. So the crystals can speak to us. You can do readings, crystal readings, of course. And I think that in this program we're going to spend more time. We're even going to do a touch of mediumship and really feeling into the energy of space and what's around us and what we feel about what's around us. And very much it's a feeling group. So I have a girl who is to me like a genius. She's so beautiful and so smart, and she also studied psychology, and she's just really starting on her entrepreneurial journey, weird. And yeah, so I think she's just kind of toying with like right now, like she might be this is a personal thing, but I know she's okay with me sharing it as like relationships. And so that's gonna be something when I get into this space, we're gonna feel into this space as I teach as well. So that's why when I'm coming on here, people want to know like what's gonna happen in the retreat or things like that. I'm like, I don't really know. Like I can tell you things if you want me to, but I really am probably just gonna go into the space with everybody and find out what people are looking for as we get our people, and then create together, which essentially is what we're doing. I'm empowering you guys to be your own people, right? That's why when I ask a question and people aren't answering, that's fine. But eventually you're going to step out of that, because that's the throat chakra energy of speaking and sound. And writing is another great tool. But sound is really powerful. So fluorite is this one, and fluorite's really, really helpful to help deepen our connection to being in the records, which is great. So even if you don't know how to do that or you don't care, just fluorite's just a really amazing one to come into. As you can see, it's like green and purple. I just love this guy, and they're really rare and challenging to find, let me tell you, these days especially. So Jessica is kind of like looking into a message. And I keep on getting, I think I'm just getting crystals for you, right? Like, go deeper, because there's wisdom in the crystals. So if you're just kind of like, oh, crystals are crystals, whatever, they're not. They're not just whatever at all. They're very powerful. It's like saying that tinctures are just whatever, that the sound, it's like saying, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that sound. What sound? Well, your ears are like, they're activated, right? You hold a crystal, you're being activated. So that's what's coming up for you, Jess, is just really start connecting to that activation and the energy of sound. Get a sound healing session. You can come to me or join any of my workshops, retreats, things that I have going on. You just kind of, if I know you're a sound healing person, we'll work on that. Or if you need more education, then just underneath my YouTube comment and say what helps you. Hi, Jen. So if you guys don't have any questions, that's all I want to say. today that just feels good. There feels like there's a lot of peace here. If you like products, natural products, I sell sage, Palo Santo, crystal rollers. So they're just cute little rollers with blends that I made, customized for people. So I do the Akashic Records, Reiki, Theta Healing, and I do a mini reading for every person that purchases an item. So you get a little letter indicating how this product is going to help you as I connect to your energy and do a little bit of energy work on the product. But when I make products, I'm also doing any energy work as well. So you're going to feel a lot from them. Same thing, if you are a person who says, I don't feel anything, say you put on your roller and you're just wearing it, and it's like, I don't smell anything, I don't feel anything. It's like, okay, I totally get that, but sometimes we have to give things time. And a lot of people I find want an instant fix. They want instant gratification, they want an instant fix and all this stuff, and that's totally fine if that's how you want to live. But um, when it comes to really like, I think understanding things on a deeper level, we're not always going to get the answers right away. We're not always going to make sense of things right away. So if you go back and watch any of my videos, I'd say from the last 3 weeks, and you're hopping on and this is not connecting with you, or even if it is, go back, maybe scroll through some things that I've been discussing. I guarantee you that there'll be a ring of truth for you in there. And I do this for people for free to help others. So I appreciate people that take the time to like my YouTube, that subscribe, that share these out. If you don't feel comfortable with sharing it out, then maybe just say that you liked it and say that you watched it, because it makes me feel good knowing that it impacted somebody in a certain way. Okay, that's my ultimate goal. That's what motivates me in life. So just, it's the gift of giving, guys. So keep celebrating you. I love you all and have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching.